Welcome to the NBA Draft Breakdown. CJ McCollum, the senior out of Leigh, 21 years old, 6'3", 200. He's being talked about as a top 10 player in this draft. We're going to watch 4 games, the game against VCU as well as the game against Baylor. Also, his junior year NCAA tournament games against Duke, in which they win in the first round, and against Xavier. Good year this year, but he played just 12 games, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Look at the shooting percentages, just fabulous. He only played 12 games before breaking his foot. This is about a 3.5, 4-minute collection of just the various types of plays he makes. And you're going to see he's not a superior athlete. He's really a shooting guard coming off picks, plays a little point guard. We'll get more specific over time. We'll look at his pick and roll play. We'll look at his pure catch and shoot. We'll look at some of his transition play. But this is his what I would call playmaking. Going to come get this one. This is against Baylor. Good athletes. Working the drive. Gets caught inside. Offensive foul. Not a lot of makes in these games, quite frankly, against the superior opponents. Nice play there. And if you go back to his sophomore year, he shoots just 39.9% and 31% from 3 in the Patriot League. His junior year, 44% and 34% from 3. And then this year in limited time, he went nuts. 12 games, just 372 minutes, he did shoot that 52%. So I'm not sure how much of this guy is really a high percentage player. And this is against, now back to his junior year, second round game against Xavier. And you've seen a lot of misses. And this is a good collection, almost all of the plays which he's involved in the games that I watched. Now, obviously, a real scout's going to watch much more than this. But there's another miss. He's very aggressive on his own misses, going back, good tenacity. You'll see that regularly through this. Good handle. Steps into the jumper, but just not a lot of makes. Here's one of his better moves. Little off balance. 2-foot jumper. Baylor's down the baseline. Into the lane. Nice jump stop, step back, and got it. Gets himself in trouble and turns it over. Working the dribble. Into the jumper. And you see some of this begins to lack some fundamentals. That had a foot kick out there. It's not always balanced on that jump shot the way it needs to be. That one's got kind of a curl and his front right shoulder came forward. So it's not fundamentally the same shot every time at all. Good hesitation, but he doesn't have the athleticism to go to the next step after that. Comes around the near side here. Good jump stop in the lane and floats it up, but no finish. And that's the balance issue. And as he starts to get hit more in the NBA, I think that's only going to get worse. Into the body, off balance, misses again. Top 10 pick they're talking about. Beautiful move here. Watch this. Step back, good balance, though. Squared his shoulders on that one and hits. Another good stop and pop, but the shot comes up short. He thought he got hit. Nice hesitation, gets to the rim, reverse layup. Way to use the rim. And that's the kind of player he's going to be. He's not rising up and packing that. Steps in the jumper, and you can see that front right shoulder is forward. That foot's kicking forward. It's not particularly fundamental. Blocked there on the one-on-one play. Here's late in the Duke game. Nice back cut, but blocked on his way to the rim. So that's a collection of his play. Now let's watch his pure shooting. Here, this is a nifty shot. We're going to see 10 shots. That's with a guy right on him. Most of them are going to be catch and shoot type. So here he comes off a curl. Beautiful. Fires. Hits. Couldn't tell from this angle how much he squared up on that. Nice catch and shoot here. But he comes up short, gets his own rebound to the basket, gets it again. Great tenacity on those type of plays. I mentioned that already. Offensive rebound, they're going to kick back to him. This is the VCU game. He breaks his foot in this game. It's not clear whether it was bothering him beforehand or not. He was not very good in this game. They're going to swing it. He's got it here. He swings it. Now this guy will bring the defender, catch and shoot. See that right foot kicking out? So I wouldn't call him a pure shooter at all. People are trying to say he's the next Steph Curry because he's a small league guy. That, to me, is a pretty darn big stretch. Comes off a curl, nice kick, and hits. That time the foot kicked out and he hits it. So that may be just a little bit of his shooting motion. But we watch 10 shots here. He only makes 3 of them. And they're pretty good looks. Watch him on the pick and roll. Is he a 1? Is he a 2? Is the question. If he's a 2, he's a 6'3" shooting guard, gets small in this league. Here's a beautiful move right down the lane. But is he good enough to be a point guard in the NBA? Pick and roll, kind of keeps it together, gets it off to his teammate. Pick comes way too early, he goes, doesn't get the benefit of the pick, but those 2 defenders pick each other off, he misses the layup. This time he waits a little bit more, gets a little bit more of the pick, and works himself into a step back, gets his own rebound. Uses the angle well, splits the double team. Nice move. In control here with a good handle, and then a little out of control at the end on the pass. How about the transition game? This is earlier this year against Baylor. And an offensive foul called here. Near side, rises up, and draws the foul. Hesitation, nicely to the left hand, able to finish it. In control, nice stop and pop, got it. Goes in, draws the foul, and finishes. And finally here against Duke, does not have the lift on that one and gets suffocated a little bit. Passing and handle, you're going to see some turnovers in this section. It's, really, I can't just show you every time he just handles the ball well. So this is a collection of turnovers from the 4 games. I don't want to seem like this is what he does every time. But here's VCU, puts very heavy pressure on him, figuring out whether he's a point guard or not. And you can kind of watch this and try to decide. Shaka Smart's VCU team's going to put that pressure. They're kind of trapping every now and then. He comes off the pick and roll here. They switch and hedge out hard, and he ends up turning it over. Waves everybody out. Now there's traps waiting in each corner, so he's got to read it correctly. The double team comes, and he's able to sneak through. Here's a pick and roll. They hedge it, and he just misreads, picks up his dribble when he shouldn't, and he is now in trouble. Retreat out of that, bring the guy to him, do something of that sort's a better answer. Just one off his leg. Let's get to some of his passing, because some of that's, he sees guys. Here he penetrates, hangs in the air, finds the corner shooter. Back to the Baylor game. Very basic pass, but he makes it correctly. Finds the open man on the far side, a little cool with a no look, and head back the other direction. Nice retreat return back to the inbound guy. Gets his shot blocked, but that's not on him. Pick and roll, beautiful bounce pass to the corner. This was my favorite pass he made of all the 4 games I watched. Right back to the big when everybody thought it was going to the corner. Defense and rebounding. He rebounds about 5 a game. In fact, his sophomore year, he grabbed 8. Though I would not say he's incredibly actively involved in the rebounding. And defensively, here's early against Baylor. He just gets blown by. It's hard. He's got to stay on the floor. It's that whole college thing about these guys have got to stay on the floor. He makes an effort every now and then. Here he is on a kind of hedge in and then close out. He's not great. He gets Velcroed on picks more. Right there, he should have hedged out and helped a little bit on the defender. He didn't. You'll see him. He'll get hit up on some picks and not get through, and you begin to wonder, so this is an NBA. Boom, that pick, you're gone. And he's trailing that one pretty badly by the end anyway against VCU. This is a transition time where he gets picked off, but able to get back. Here he hedges out, then a bad closeout with his feet kind of cross-eyed. Nice block helping out down low. Here against Xavier, he's got to play some isolation defense. He moves his feet, stays on it. Austin Rivers of Duke here. Goes at his front foot, able to drive, help defense comes. Inside on the rebounding, not a lot of contact there. And then, ole, I'm not going to pick up a foul. So there's a lot of that. It's going to have to change on the NBA level. Here he's trailing a pick pretty badly. Rebounding, here he's on the far side. Ball's around. He's kind of hovering. And so there he'll go get it once it's there, but he's not going to get it, would be the way I'd look at it. Nice rebound here. This play, he gets beat badly on the pickoff there, but he stays into the play to go get the rebound. Austin Rivers misses that one there. Intangibles, here's one I didn't like early, and then two things you got to give him credit for. I didn't like is this fast break. This is early NCAA tournament game. He's just lagging it up the front side, near side to be. Watch the picture again and look at the edge he has, and he just doesn't run this out, and that's not the player he is. He is not sprinting out fast breaks. I never saw that. Here's where he's very good. Comes off the curls off a pick. Look at that, then he'll get defended. And then this is the dagger against Duke, which wins the ball game with 2:20 left, puts them up 5, and goes on to win it. That's CJ McCollum. Your evaluation. I gave you the information. Thanks for tuning in. You can catch more of these at weareutahjazz.com/lockedonjazz.